Hey everybody, welcome back. I just got a quick video for you guys this week. I got something in the mail that I was not expecting to get today. It's this box, and what's inside this box is actually what I was talking about in my last video. Doing this one-handed. It's brake pads. So these are the brake pads that I run on my car. They're Hawk DTC60. Now, I've got to verify this. I'll edit it out of the video. You guys will never know. But last time I ordered brake pads, they sent me the wrong ones. At least for the fronts. But that looks right, I think. These are going to be 700, 500. Let me verify that. So I just verified real quick. These are indeed the right numbers for my brakes. These are going to be the fronts, these are going to be rears. Like I said, last time I ordered these, they sent me the wrong front pads. They sent me for an E92 M3. I wish I had an E92 M3. By the way, how do you guys like my new stadium seating here? It's for my pit crew. Now I just need 7 people. You've got almost as much room in the back as an Aston Martin Vanquish. In all seriousness though, they came out of that van right there. And they are for sale if anyone's interested in buying them. Just leave me a PM or a comment, and if this is months later, then they're probably not for sale anymore. So this morning I ran over to the Harbor Freight, or cardboard freight as some people like to call them, and I picked up some jack stands that aren't designed to kill me. I'm glad I did all that rear lower control arm work on the recalled jack stands. So new. Alright, we got the wheel off, car's up in the air on those pretty new jack stands. So those are the Fortune Auto coilovers I got. They're kind of hard to see in the lighting, but there they are. So brakes are a super easy job. More or less anyone can do them. The caliper is what's going to have to come off, and unless you have an upgraded brake system, this is going to be what most stock cars are going to have. This is what the stock E46s have, whether it's the M3 or not. The M3 ones say M on them, just embroidered, and I think they're a little bit beefier. I'm not actually positive on that one, but it's basically the same thing. But first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get this spring off. This spring can be an absolute nightmare to get off sometimes. Alright, with the retainer clip removed, there's going to be 2 bolts on the back, and they're under little rubber coverings. And they're covered by these little plastic caps. They're the slide bolts. They're what allows this to move in and out when it's getting pressed on, because only that side has the piston and this side is just pressed on when the piston pulls it in that way. And they're going to be HW7 little hex bit here. Should be super easy to get out. This right here is one of the little slide bolts. I'm just going to clean this off. You're going to want to clean off the old grease, and then you're going to want to re-grease it when we put them back in. Now that we got both of these off, this should come off relatively easily. Here's my old pad. And then you don't want it hanging on the brake line, so I prefer the bungee cord method, but you just want to hang this up however you can. Whatever works. As long as it's hanging there and not hanging on the brake cable. So these are the old brake pads that just came out. As you can see, they're worn down quite a bit. They're not completely dead, so I am going to hang on to them for like basic track days when I don't want to wear out my nicer, newer brake pads. These are the ones I just got. Like I said, I wasn't going to put them on this week. They just came early, so I figured why not. But you can see they're a lot thicker. I probably got quarter life, like I said, left in those ones, at least compared to these ones here. So we're going to go ahead and throw these ones on, and we're just going to put those ones to the side. Before we put the new brake pads in, these are the rails that they ride on. It's good practice. I don't know why not everyone does it, but it's good practice to just clean out any gunk and debris from left there from the old grease that you had on there. Then I would recommend once you've cleaned off all the old grease on all of them, is to put on new grease. Careful not to get any on the caliper. If you do, or the rotor, but if you do, then just clean it off with some brake cleaner and a microfiber cloth. It's not the end of the world. You just don't want it on there. So I've moved the caliper up here just to make my life a little bit easier. We just greased the bracket, but we do need to get the new brakes in there. The piston is still set to what these brakes were at, and since the newer ones are going to be thicker, it's not going to be able to fit in there and then slide over the caliper. So you need to reset the piston. If you don't have a brake caliper reset tool, this is the trick that I use. I actually find this trick easier on these types of brakes. There are some brakes that the brake caliper reset tool is necessary, so that's why I have it. The brakes on the E46 is not. What I do is I take this giant clamp right here and I put one side on the back of the caliper, and then I put this side over here on the old brake pad, and then I just twist it in. And as you can see, we've got that piston pushed back in there. So now we can put the new brake pads in and slide the whole thing over the caliper, over the rotor. And then with the new pads, you want to put the inside one on the caliper, and then you want to put the outside one just right on the bracket itself, because that'll be the easiest way to do it. And you just slide it right on there. And then what I find easiest to do, you just want to take that grease that you had and just put a dab of it in each one of the holes for the slide bolts, and then you'll just want to feed one of the slide bolts in to help align it. Alright, so I got both of those bolts in. They're not torqued down yet. They got to get torqued down to 22 foot-pounds, so I'm going to go pull out my torque wrench and get those done. I'm just going to go ahead and finish this up. It's basically the same process as putting it on or taking it off. Just got to put those two in, torque them down to 22 foot-pounds, put on their rear caps. Make sure you've greased them too. You don't want them to be ungreased. It's just going to wear on the parts unnecessarily. And then same thing, you're just going to want to put the retaining clip back in. I recommend just kind of putting it on the sides there and then pushing it in. That'll be able to click it in. But like I said, I'm just going to put this back together, drop the car back down. Alright, so I got the front wheel done. The back wheels, I'm not going to bother showing them. It's the exact same process, but with a smaller brake pad. Let's see if I can get in there and get some light. There you go. You just got the clip on there. It's just a little bit smaller. Stupid lens will not stay focused on things. Just a little bit smaller. You just take the clip off. Has the same bolts on the back, and then same process. You just want to clean the gunk out of that side and that side down there as well. Put on the new pads. You're going to want to compress the piston on it. Compresses in the exact same way as the front, and then same torque spec, 22 foot-pounds for torquing the slide washers back in. Anyway guys, like I said, it's just going to be a short video, so I'm going to spray you guys the rest. I'm going to do the rest of it off camera. All the other brakes are going to be the same. It's the exact same process. I'm also going to spare you the trouble of me bleeding the brakes. You're going to want to do that every time you replace the pads, and if you're tracking the car, you're going to want to do it more frequently than you replace the pads anyway. Plus, I've already covered how to bleed your brakes when I did my brake lines, so I'm just going to link that video down in the description just in case you need to know how to do that. Anyway guys, catch you in the next video.